The Wimpy Kid Movie Diary, How Greg Heffley Went Hollywood, was originally published to coincide with the release of the first live-action Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie in 2010. It's a surprisingly educational book about the process of movie making. It tells how they made the movie from start to finish. I'm surprised at how long it is, too. It's the same length as a typical Wimpy Kid book, 200 pages. I'm surprised they didn't wimp out and make it a half-length book. The book is made up of short sections, usually 2 or 4 pages long. For example, there are 2 pages about finding the director, 2 pages on how storyboarding works, 4 pages on the different drafts of the script. They include the script for a scene where Roderick pranks Greg. That didn't make it into the final draft of the movie. Honestly, I would be interested in seeing every scene that was removed. After getting the script and the director, they started casting. The book goes into detail about casting Greg and Rolly's roles, with less information about casting everyone else. I like the insight about girls. In the Wimpy Kid books, all the girls look basically the same, because Greg drew the pictures. He thinks all girls are more or less the same. Hopefully he'll figure girls out by the time he starts high school. There are sections about making the cheese and storyboarding and how the kids in the movie still have to go to school. Other things in the offset area are trailers and craft services. There are longer sections about wardrobe and set design. I noticed an error. It says that, for the Wizard of Oz play, they purposely used fabrics from when the book was written, which is 1900. The photo shows 1920s fashion, not 1900s. This book has color photos and Wimpy Kid illustrations on every page. I think they look nice. I am used to seeing movie tie-in books where the photos are limited to 10 pages of publicity shots in the center of the book. It's nice to see this book went the extra mile by having full color the whole time. It kind of makes me wish they re-released the Wimpy Kid books in full color. That worked out well for the Babysitter's Club and Captain Underpants graphic novels. Filming the scene of the play was tough because of the large number of extras and because they had to get Manny to say a line. That was tough because Manny was played by 3-year-old twins. They're 3. They don't know how acting works yet, so the director just had to shout, "Bubby, Bubby, Bubby," over and over again until Manny repeated it. There's a section on the mother-son sweetheart dance, which is a scene that's exclusive to the movie. I wish there was a section about Angie, who's a movie-exclusive character. Why did they add her to the movie? She was kind of interesting. She's like a big sister who has pity on Greg and Rolly because they're so pathetic. The book talks about stunt doubles and blue screens and how they made certain kinds of weather. Some of the scenes used real houses, which had to be staged. Others were fake houses built on a soundstage. The book talks about making props and how the scene of Greg getting water dumped on him had to be done in one take. After filming's done, there's a lot of editing and work with music. Unlike most movies, the Wimpy Kid movie has a fair amount of smaller animated sequences. We learn how those were made. Finally, they showed the film to test audiences and did a bunch of marketing with a press tour. It's pretty clear the original book ends here. When the second movie came out, they added 20 pages of new material at the end. It discusses things from the second movie, like the new characters, the roller rink, and talent show sets. When the third movie came out, they added another 20 pages with specifics about that one. I'm not sure how I feel about the additions for movies 2 and 3. My cynical side says they just slapped some new publicity photos onto a pre-existing book as a lazy excuse to reprint it. I feel bad for anyone who bought this book, then bought it again for movie 2, then bought it again for movie 3, because you're basically buying the same book 3 times. The bonus material for the second 2 movies is definitely not good enough to make the book worth repurchasing twice. On the other hand, the bonus material isn't bad. It's definitely in line with the rest of the book. Having 2 20-page bonus sections technically makes this the longest book in the Wimpy Kid series. Those are my thoughts on the Wimpy Kid Movie Diary. It's an okay book, and some of the jokes are good. I like the joke that the author sold the movie rights to Wimpy Kid in exchange for free popcorn. This book might disappoint readers who were expecting it to be a novelization of the movies, but it's good in its own right. Like I said, it's an educational book about how movies are made, which is a fairly interesting topic. You could argue this book is just a glorified commercial for the movie, but I think it is better than that. If they wanted to make a cheap cash in on the movie, they did not have to put so much effort into making this a decent book. They could have slapped a new cover on the original book and stopped there. Which is what they did for the Disney Plus version of the movie. I give the Wimpy Kid Movie Diary a thumbs up.